Good afternoon, TNT Super Fantastic family. Today is Friday, February 22nd, 2019. Fantabular Friday. Yours truly, Raymond 98 here, along with.
All right. Good morning, TNT. All right. We're here again, as Ray would say. Didn't want to be, but we got to be. So let's do what we do. All right, Ray, did we send anything out?
No. Let me double check to make
Nothing
sure. I don't
else.
recall an update yesterday. I almost did one this morning, but I decided we'd just wait and just do it all live. So, no
Well,
update went out yesterday.
if you were going to do one this morning, what were you going to do?
Just go ahead and leak out the information about Maliki and his boys being under fire for what they did to Mosul and the U.S. stuff about the rigging the contracts, insider stuff on the contracts. That's about it, other than those rates that the banks are seeing.
Well, now that you've confused everybody, can you explain it to them?
Well, you asked. Okay.
So, all right, go ahead. No?
Okay. Well, it was on Iraqi TV about a panel, an Iraqi panel, where a panel of some sorts, um, running the whole Maliki and several other people responsible for the fall of Mosul and wanting to stand trial. I don't know to what degree that's going to work, but at least that's on the Iraqi TV about wanting him to stand trial for the fall of Mosul. And then the Department of Justice investigating Maliki for the. So that was
All right.
Iraqi TV information, and then the banks with the rates
Wait.
we.
Department of Justice investigating Maliki cut out. Didn't hear what you said.
Oh, the Department of Justice investigating Maliki for bribery charges and fraud for the contracts that were granted, that were issued.
All right.
Now, I thought that was Iraq that was doing that investigation on that. I didn't know that the DOJ was involved in that aspect of it. Interesting.
DOJ doing it because it involved American companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's DOJ because they know that Iraq or the Parliament will not go after. They can use this. But yes, they said it's going to go rather quickly too. So we'll see what happens there. All right. What was the next part? You there?
Okay, I
I
had to
can't hear
readjust my
you.
microphone. That was that was
Okay.
that was pretty much it. The those investigations on the Iraqi TV for Maliki, which doesn't sound too good. And then
All right.
the bank stuff, with those who hear the bank screens, which are similar to the rates we were hearing on Wednesday, just from a different banking source. So that's pretty good.
So probably our first or second caller is going to say, Tony, you got any updates on the rates? And we're going to say what?
We're going to say $5 to $5.30 on the dinar, 47 cents to $2.37 on the dong, and 28 cents on the zim. That's what is being reported as rates on the screens.
That's what's being reported as rates on the screens as of this morning, right? Let me see. Yeah,
Correct.
as of this. Yep. Yeah. Yesterday the rates were going, or they are now moving up and down, but they're still moving. They're still there. People can see them, which is a good thing. Okay. The banks are still looking, waiting, anticipating, saying just be ready. So far. We are hearing from several sources over there in our guide that Lord denoms are starting to trickle out, but he actually told us that Wednesday, said they were trickling out. But I got a separate confirmation from Iraq this morning saying that the lower denoms are starting to trickle out, which means they're not on the street yet, but they are putting them in some people's hands. So, man, my phone's about to die. My earpiece about to die. I've been on the phone all morning. So, hold on, guys. Let me plug in here. All right. Here's something you guys want to hear. We were on the call Wednesday, and our committee guy told us on Wednesday that the only them notes they're going to take are 2016 and newer. That's it. He said the rest are dead. Dead weight. So I took that information and I sent it to the bank and said, have you guys been briefed yet? And the bank sent back and said, we're going to take 2008, 2009, 100 trillion, 50 trillion notes. That's what we're going to do. And that came from regional vice president who is actually involved in the process. So again, I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to wait and see what happens, because the bank is saying one thing, the committee is saying something else, and I'm telling you, don't throw away your Zim notes regardless, because again, years ago, the Treasury told us these were going to be the notes. Now, whether it's going to be today, tomorrow, when this starts, or 6 months from now, their agreement and contract was with those notes. So I would hold on to them anyway. But that's the contrast that we get back and forth.
Hey, Tony.
The bank, huh?
Let's do like the Duke brothers and wager a bet on which one is right. And
okay.
I'll wager $1.
Oh. $1. Okay. All right. Well, I'll wager. I'll what they do? Up your wager, or what they do? I don't gamble like that. But anyway, to 100 trillion note. How about that? Woo.
A 100 trillion note on which one is right? Well, now that's not a good wager, because if I'm going with the committee side and turn out to be right, you give me $100 trillion note that's worth nothing. If I turn out to be wrong, I give you a $100 trillion note. You win like crazy. I need to be.
Well, that's why I'm the smarter brother.
On the winning end of this as well, if I turn out to be correct. So.
But did you not hear me? I said that's why I'm the smarter brother. But anyway.
All right. Moving along.
All right. So anyway, guys, that's where we're at today. Banks are still waiting. A guy in Iraq this morning said, I do not know why you guys aren't seeing it. He said, we don't understand why it has not been released yet. And they're all higher up, so they're sitting there waiting. And he actually got paid. And they are getting the lower denoms, like I said, and it's going to start from the top and trickle down. But they do not understand why we aren't seeing it yet. So we wait. It is Friday. And, after 3:45, anything could happen. I don't know. So I did get something happen on Wednesday. On this side, they said they were going to activate it on Wednesday. I forgot what he said. Something did happen. Not from Iraq. I got it from this side, from the banking. They said they were scheduled to activate it on Wednesday, but something happened. I can't remember. I've been on too many phone calls already. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get it again throughout the day. All right, Ray, let's get some Q&A in.
Okay, let's see. Blue Angeles says, we have heard for years that the Admiral Group will be the first to exchange as a group. Do you think we still have to wait for the Admiral to exchange before us?
You have heard a whole bunch of BS for years. They're going to exchange at the same time we do. And that has been scheduled for years. The only difference is you, who are not part of the Admirals Group, are going to get your money a whole lot faster and sooner than the Admirals Group. The groups have paymasters, which whenever it's released and the contracts are signed, money has to go to the paymasters. Each paymaster then has to arrange to pay their group. And some of their groups are in hundreds, some of their groups are in thousands. They're not going to be able to pay them all instantly at the same time. And they're paying them different rates. You were locked in with your rate. A bunch of those groups are different rates. Now, the Admirals Group, like I say, has been $28.50 for years. I know that. I saw the initial contract, had the initial contract. But even their $28.50, they had to pay, 11% had to go. Anyway, they ended up with $18, $19 out of their $28.50 after making the payments that they were supposed to make that were part of the contract. You're going to get the whole $28.50 because you're not part of that group, and you didn't have to make the taxes on it again because they're doing a sale transaction selling to China. We're just doing an exchange, and they had fees, and you don't have the fees that they have, and I can't remember. Anyway, it came out to 18 something or $19 is what they get in the end, because $11 was supposed to come off of it, I think. So trust me, you're in a much, much better position. And here's the thing: if somebody doesn't like what happens in that group or any other group, and they get their money first, or something happens, and any one of them can file a lawsuit against the group because of a transaction something they didn't like, and get everybody's money held up for years. For years. While your money is free, you're going to go to the bank and get it. So don't be jealous. Don't be envious. You're actually on the best side of this deal if you get the contract rate. So, all right, who's next?
Okay, Jim and KC. We have conflicting information from the committee guy and the banks, especially regarding the Zim exchange. When you told us there would be no buy-sell spread charge, did that information come from one or more than one bank source, or from the committee guy, or both?
Actually, that came from the committee guy, because that's who I asked the question.
Mm-hmm.
And that, but I will tell you guys and I did tell you then, that the guy who got paid last month, who got the $440 something, he got the rate, and all he had to pay was the fee. So there was no buy sell. So that just reinforced it. He did get the $443 on that day. That's the rate he was given.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Jim continues to say, what is the latest information on the exchange fee? Is it negotiable depending on how much currency is exchanged?
It is negotiable. They feel that it's so minimal that you shouldn't even be concerned about negotiating it. But I told you guys what has already happened. It's supposed to be between 0 and 2%, I think is the highest that they can go. Personally, and the bank's not going to like it, but I mean, if I've got $100,000 coming in, you want 2%, you know, that's still $2,000 for a $100,000 transaction. I might be kind of mad, and all we're doing is signing one piece of paper here, and you taking $2,000. So we're going to have to talk about that. Now I got $20 million, and again, you taking 2%, and you charging me $1 million to do a transaction. I might be highly pissed for 30 minutes signing some paperwork, put my money in there. So it's going to be up to you guys to look at it. They feel it's nothing based on what you're getting. I have to look at the numbers myself and say I'll sit here for 15 minutes and you want this much money, I might be upset. And you want me to leave it at the bank? And you're going to get 1% a night in Swift accounts? And you're going to loan my money out 10 times, fractional banking, and you're going to get all this money off of it? And you're trying to rip me off here for 15 minutes? I might be mad. Let me see. I might get a phone call behind all that. But anyway, it's up to you.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
Sunstar says, let's see, I should have read this first. I would like to start a college scholarship program for my son and high school students. Is there a certain category this would fall under for a bank and foundation? Sure, there's college education savings programs that you can kids for. If that's all you want some money for them, for higher education. You don't need to have a foundation for that. There's I forget the names of them now. There's a federal one, education savings plan, 529 plan, or something like that. But between your banks and your investment people, they can let you know about those.
Okay, wait, let me ask a question about that, because I'm hearing that he wants to set it up for more kids than just his own. Wasn't that part of the question?
Oh, well, yeah, this is for my son and high school students.
Right.
Okay, well.
So now, that's something different.
Yeah, that's definitely scholarship programs and that you would put together, and I would definitely set up my foundation to do that. I would. You know, have the foundation established first and then do the scholarships and grants through that foundation. Thank you for catching that.
All right. What's next?
TX Tinker says, in reference to first, second, and third mouse, do you still believe that pertains more to the Dinar? With the thought that it would be the only one in the basket that will fluctuate the most.
Yes, I still believe that, because that's what this is based on. And I think it will go up. It will shock the financial world the most in people, and it will go up the highest and the quickest. So, yes, that's who it pertains to. I don't see the Zim, the Dong, the Rupiah, or anything else going at the rate that the Dinar will those first 2 weeks.
Okay. GTOV 725 says, my question might be redundant, okay. When you purchase most of your currency from a company, will there be a problem with anything at the exchange at a bank? I did purchase V&D at a bank and have since continued to buy there. Would I be a typical person a bank might call for exchanging?
You could be, based on the amount that you've done, your history. That's who they would look at. So I don't know how much you bought from that particular bank. But right now they're not looking at V&D purchases. They're looking at clients who have made Dinar purchases through them. And not last week, guys. You got to remember, Wells Fargo used to sell Dinar 9 years ago. They know who they sold it to. Chase used to sell Dinar back then. And Citibank still does, but they haven't started doing any transactions yet that I know of. Not Chase or Citibank. Wells Fargo has been doing some transactions, and we've already told you. But it's not necessarily people who bought, last year or year before last, because they haven't been selling Dinar for the last 5 years. So these are people who bought it way back then and bought large sums, who they know had it, or they've established relationships with those people. So I don't want you to think you can just go in the bank now and start buying and they're going to put you on the list, because it's not going to work like that. Okay, Ray?
All right. Hopeful7 says, please give us your opinion on whether the ISIS forces entering northern Iraq again could delay the RV.
Well, somebody came on television I said ISIS was defeated and done with. So I don't know what ISIS forces you're talking about that are coming back into Iraq when they're already done. No, seriously. So you made me laugh, even just saying it. Anyway, I guess I made myself laugh. No, I don't think their forces are large enough to cause a problem. I think Iraq and the U.S. are dealing with that, handling it. If you look at today's articles came out, it says ISIS was delivered a severe blow over the weekend and earlier this week. That's the U.S. and Iraq forces taking care of that. I do not see ISIS ever being an issue on the scale that they were in Iraq before. I never see that being repeated. I don't think, that the people in charge would let that happen. And you have to remember, the only reason it did happen was Maliki let it happen, encouraged it to happen, so that he could declare martial law and become a dictator, which backfired on it. That's the only reason ISIS ever came in there like that, is because he let them in and he contacted the bases and told them to retreat. Don't fight them. That's why that whole thing happened. All right, what's next?
Going higher says, does the release of the new Zim currency have any hindrances or affect the process we have been anticipating?
Well, I would think that it would affect the contract or the rates that we've been negotiating with them, because it's a change in their currency, in their status. Is it what has been holding up the RV? No. Revaluation, I can't see the Zim being what's holding it up no more than any other currency. Because they can go, they could put it in the second basket just as easy as they put it in this basket and still be worth something. So, no, I don't see that as being the holdup or affecting it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sunstar says, do you know of anyone that has exchanged the dong?
No, I don't think I do.
I'm trying to remember.
Me too. I don't think so, though.
I knew of one person that did, but then when he went back to the bank, they told him they weren't supposed to do that yet. So they unexchanged it and put everything back. If that counts. Okay.
That wasn't Florida, though, was?
No, it was not in Florida. But anyway.
All right, good.
Noble Lion 77 says, have you had any confirmation from any early exchangers? Oh, that's Dong, too, getting right on VND. All right. Same type of question. You just understand Dong. It said VND, so I missed that. Hey, you know what? Something exciting or interesting. I was watching the news this morning, and they were showing the footage of the Duke player that, he made a step. Was his Williams? I think was his name. In the shoe burst open.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Hey, you guys, this should be really interesting because two things just happened. Ray watched the news, and it's about sports. So this should really be interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but I'm sure you saw that as probably millions of people saw it. It was on the news this morning. But here's the striking thing. President Obama was sitting in the audience. But he's supposed to be at Gitmo locked up. But anyway, I digress.
Actually, he was there, and he said he broke his shoe. Look, he broke his shoe. And everybody said, dog, he noticed that just like that. But you're right. I think that, you get a pass at Gitmo for big college games. They give you a pass to go out for those. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I just kind of thought that
was
interesting. So that's it for the printed questions. Let's see what some of our live individuals have to say to us today. First one is 951 area code.
Good afternoon. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good morning. And Ray already answered your question. So what you want now?
I got it. 5, 47, and 28. Got it. No problem. Okay. On Wednesday, you had announced that the bank and the CBI guy had called before Wednesday's call, and the CBI guy said 5 days. The bank said this week. And then you came on this morning and you basically said, yeah, the bank is ready. Is it a couple notches down from the bank, or are they pretty still excited for this week? What's your take on that?
Let me see. Let me see what they're saying first. Hold on. Let's see if I'm getting them. My take on it is talked to Iraq this morning, and they said, don't understand why you're not seeing it. They said, there's really no reason. I mean, we're seeing it. Paid and the lower denoms are trickling out, and I don't understand why you're not seeing it yet. So that was his take this morning. The bank's take is we tried to do it on Wednesday, and something happened, which I couldn't remember because, like I said, I've been on the phone all morning. I can't remember exactly what they said, but and they're sitting there waiting. So that's the best I can get. But she said they did try it on Wednesday, but something happened.
It didn't go through then. Okay,
it didn't go through.
Okay, no problem. And what about the taxes and tariffs over in Iraq? Are the people starting to get antsy with their 100% tax on the cigarettes and 200% alcohol to where they possibly will maybe hit the streets and surround the CBI, or any news on that?
There's nothing on that particular. And you got to remember that those taxes were on imported stuff that's coming in. So that's only people who are coming in have to be concerned with that, not the citizens. But he did tell me this morning that the prices are starting to go down. So that's today. The prices are starting to go down. So, and again, it's slowly transforming into where we want it to go.
Okay.
That's all
can
I
you
can
explain
tell
that the prices? Yeah, he said the prices are going down. Explain that to me, please. They're not going up with the taxes and tariffs, but they're going down?
Well, with the RV itself and the revaluation of the currency, yes, the prices would go down.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got. How do you feel for this weekend, Tony? I mean, you always said, Friday at 3:45 p.m. could be the day. That could be the time slot, but what's your take? Just to wait and see what happens, or are you pretty excited, or what's your take on that?
I'm not excited. I'm just waiting because everybody is telling me it's here, it's done. There's nothing else for us to say now. This time it's actually done, and don't understand why you're not seeing it. And the banks are seeing the rates again, and this was the rates that Ray gave you came from a different bank. So now I'm saying, okay, now all the banks are starting to see the rates, and they're there and they're getting informed that this thing is happening right now. So I'm not riding a roller coaster. I'm just sitting here waiting with my hands saying, "Give me my money," because everybody else got theirs.
Right. Makes sense.
So I feel good about the time frame. Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, then that sounds good. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great weekend, and hopefully we can have a call on Saturday, congratulate a caller or whatever. But I'll let the next caller come on in, and you guys have a great one, man. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right.
610, you are on.
Hey, good afternoon, Ray. Hey, good morning, Tony. It's G-Man in PA.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing super fantastic, Tony, and it's another dynamite day here in the USA, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you who are new to the call and those of you who didn't know, all these calls and all the means of communication that Ray and Tony use to keep us informed need to be paid for. And in order to keep this information station on the air, donations are needed. You can help by going to www.tntsuperfantastic.com, clicking on that red donate button, and when you do, the name and address will come up to where you can send your check or money order made payable to Raymond Renfrow, P.O. Box 1748, Elm City. That's just like the tree. Elm City, North Carolina, 27822. And for those of you who would like to donate electronically, the Cash App is available on the donation page. And if you're already familiar with and utilizing the Cash App, you can go to $TNT SuperFantastic, and you'll be able to make your donation electronically. Remember to do it today, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be very, very glad that you did. And again, Ray and Tony, thank you for all you continue in the currency community. Thank you to both of your families for sharing you with us. Thank you to those 13 task force members. They're still out there making sure that the bankers and meeting facilities will be available for us post-RV so we can get all that banking information. And I'll close out with Vegas, Vegas, Vegas. Verification, negotiation, diversification, protect your principal, and rally, 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 so I can come join you and enjoy some of that good home-style North Carolina barbecue. Thank you, gentlemen. Make it a dynamite weekend.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
And I do want to remind those of you who are sending the gifts, don't forget to include your telephone number. That's helping me with our accounting system. 303 area code. You are on.
Howdy, guys.
Hey, you got it.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, I was wondering if this thing keeps rolling along like it has for years and years. I know you just had G-Man just on, but what about putting this on the recap or the saved audio files on YouTube and getting it monetized so that you get commercials and you could get it paid for that way, so we can relieve some of the burden on the Dinarians and set like a date of mid-March of, the 15th or so to switch over if need be, in case this thing just goes on. If we had gotten on with the Dong, we'd been here since the 60s.
Let me tell you something. When we started this years ago, I understand this, and we were getting over 1 million hits a week. 1 million hits a week. And Google came and they offered me $50,000 a month if we would go over and then let them do the advertisement and that. $50,000 a month. That's what I was offered. And I didn't do it. And I didn't ever want to do it because that's what people think it was all about. That's what TNT was all about, the money. We could ask for no money, and that many hits, and the hits we're getting today, get $50,000 a month. But then that's what everybody wanted to say it was about. That's why we didn't do it. Again, right now, and I tell you guys, you go look on Twitter, we got 140,000 followers. Everybody gets the tweet. We got people go in, at least 10, 20,000 people on every call. And you guys can go in. I think you can go and look on Blog Talk and see in the back at least how many people look at the calls, or on the live call, and then how many times the replay is replayed every day. And then every week the people listen to it. But, and I'll tell you again, probably 100 people, the same 100 people donate every time. And that's it. Everybody else is getting this for absolutely free. And it's that way because we're trying to get the information out. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to help as many people as we can help. If I monetize it and put advertisements up there, then every other site, everybody will be like, that's all it was about. They're just trying to get your money. And that's not why we came here. And remember, I wasn't supposed to be here anyway, right? I really wasn't. I was with PTR. I wasn't supposed to be there but a week. And then I did this. Pam and Donna put this up in 2 days, or I would have been gone a long time ago. So it's not necessarily about the money. Money helps, money pays the bills, but we're not here to do that. I got enough Dinar. Ray has enough Dinar, Dawn, them, everything that, my plan, I don't know what your plan is, anybody else's plan, but everybody's had enough time. My plan is for the next 10 generations of the Renfrows to live the life they should live. So I'm creating a legacy. I'm not just trying to get paid. That's why I'm here. Okay? That's why Ray's here. That's probably why most TNT members are here. So that's what it's really about. Not about just getting money. Okay? Or going on YouTube. Because then they would do the same thing, because then they'll offer, and then they want me to be a sponsor, then want me to do shows, and I'm doing the only show I want to do, and I didn't want to do this one. I'm just doing it. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry. You got me on that.
No problem. So I did a Google search on world reserves of oil, and Iraq has 200 billion known reserves, in one of the leading countries of the world, of course, which is why we all got excited about getting in on at least the dinar. So, but you do the math, and so 200 billion at $100 a barrel, that's only like $10 trillion. Okay. And so if you use the math, I guess last call you said there's 8 million dinarians, and let's just say for a minute that they each have 100,000 dinar, so they got 4 pink bills. So 8 million, and you want, at 1 to 1, or you were saying $4.40, but if we just say 4, that's $32 trillion. That's more. That's a lot more than the oil they have. Even if they only have 1 pink note, that's $8 trillion. That would mean all the oil that's going to be pumped over the next 20 years worth of money is sitting outside of their country at $4.40. That can't they can't do that.
They can't do that.
That'd be a game of musical chairs. And oil is traded in dollars, not in dinar. There just isn't enough. There might be some speculation, but not in the trillions of dollars.
How much is oil selling for a barrel right now?
I don't know. It's $50-$60.
$50-$60. All right. So this is how this works, so everybody understands it. We all have dinar. If the exchange rate is $4 per dinar, is Iraq giving us $4 per dinar? No. Iraq is not giving us $4 per dinar. The United States Treasury is giving us $4 per dinar. The U.S. Treasury is now taking that dinar, and they have made an agreement with Iraq not to demand the oil for it, but to pay it and use it over the next 30 years to buy oil and do everything else with it. It's going to be another reserve currency that the U.S. Treasury holds, and the Basel III that strengthens the U.S. dollar. We could take dinar and buy stuff from England, France, Germany, or anybody else and say, here, we're going to give you dinar for it. It's still going to be out there. Or we could just hold and do what we said. Now, oil is selling at $58 a barrel. The U.S. contract is to buy it from Iraq for $2 a barrel, not $58 a barrel. And this could go on forever. It's not about them paying it back. It's about them being in debt to us, is where the power is. Debt is what you want from somebody else, for them to be indebted to you. Now I need you to do this, do that, do this. Now I can call in that marker whenever I want to. It doesn't matter if it's 30 trillion or 50 trillion. We're never going to collect it all. The U.S. is never worried about it. They're paying it to us, me and you. We're never going to spend it all. We're never going to walk into a bank and walk out with $1 million cash in our hand. The world really doesn't work like that, guys. It's all digits on the screen.
Yeah, I understand that, but they would have to borrow money from the Fed and print money in order to give it to us. So it would be even worse of a global reset because they would have to print $32 trillion or some equivalent thereof to be able to cash us out. That doesn't make any sense.
All right. They don't have to print anything. They're never going to give you the money. This is digits on a screen. And it's the U.S. Treasury, not the Federal Reserve. We're not dealing with the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned company. We are dealing with the U.S. Treasury.
Right.
They don't have to print anything. They don't have to print not one new dollar, which they print money every day, but to pay us. That's why they tried to change Iraq over to digital. That's why they have the cards now, because they didn't want the money in the streets. They didn't want all the counterfeiting. They wanted a minimum amount of dollars in the street. They're trying to get them on our system, electronic, digits. They can change them as many as they want. You can have $1 million in your account today. Here, this is an example I like to use. Everybody understands this. Bernie Madoff. Now, Bernie Madoff is probably one of the worst people in the world for what he did. To you guys, to me, he's my hero. He's my hero. Now, why is he a hero? Bernie Madoff did exactly what the banks do every day. He did it right in their face. He created hundreds of billions of dollars out of nothing. Out of nothing. All these people, all these movie stars, all these rich people, they had all this money on Friday evening. Remember, they had these cards and they just swipe it and they could buy this and buy that and nobody cared. And it went on for years. But Monday morning, Bernie Madoff walks in and says, I'm tired, guys. I'm done with this. It's just all BS. What? Now, it's $150 billion out there. At 8 o'clock in the morning, life is normal for everybody. Why Tuesday morning were they all broke? Everybody's account closed. All the money gone and nobody knew where it went. Because it was all digits on a screen. That's all. Bernie wasn't printing money, but everybody was rich. Everybody could go buy what they want until the day he said they couldn't, and suddenly all the money disappeared. It's no different at the banks. The money is not there. They don't want you to know it's not there, so, hey, it's a digit. Yep, this is what's in your account. Yeah, as long as you're using that card or that check, or we can transfer it over electronically, you have money. But if you ever walk in this bank and try to walk out with $100,000 or $1 million, guess what? It's not here. We don't have it. It's digits on the screen. So you're worried about all the Dinarians getting paid. They could pay us $50 per dinar. It wouldn't matter.
Well, but the whole thing is we're going to Basel compliance, and that's the problem. Is that you got to have money digits to assets, and there lies the problem.
Well, here's the solution to the problem. You say $1 is worth $1. I say $1 is worth $10. Now, who are we gonna go with, me or you?
I'd rather go with you.
Well, guess what? They say the dinar is worth 50 cents, but tomorrow it's gonna be worth $5. What's the difference that I just did with the dollar and they're doing with the dinar, or they're gonna do with the dong, or they're gonna do with the rupiah? They're gonna give it the value they want to, because you're never gonna see it anyway. I mean, this is the reality of how money works and how economy works, and people don't want to believe it. I could say from now on, every rock bigger than 5 inches is worth $5, and that's the money we're going to use. Then guess what? Everybody's going outside and get some rocks real quick. It's so simple that people don't understand. This is what it's built on. Our financial system is a pyramid scheme, but it's legal. They can do it because you're authorized to do it. If you and me go out and do it, we right where Bernie's at. But it's the same system.
Yeah. Well, but like you said, they've never promised anything for us, so why give it to us as opposed to take it themselves?
Well, because once we came in, I mean, it was supposed to happen so quick we didn't know about it. But he had to make it legal for them, for people in the government, people in the military, for the people who they wanted to be able to do it. They had to make it available for all who knew about it. We just weren't supposed to know about it. It was supposed to be over and done with, just like Kuwait was. But since we got in, we did what we did, and they told me, you've earned your seat at the table. We're going to make sure that you're there. And not just me, I'm saying all of us, because that's the exact words were to me, you've earned your seat at the table. Because they were trying to take it away. And we have earned our seat at the table. So we're just lucky.
Well, I guess that's what we have to hope for.
That's it. That's all
right,
we can do. All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, sir. 513 area code. You're on. 513 area code. 513-675. Okay, you're off. 281 area code. You're on.
Well, hello, Ray and Tony. How you guys doing today?
Greetings. I'm fantabulous. The nth degree.
Well, hopefully
Super
you can
fantastic.
Good. I have a little cold today, so excuse my voice. I have a couple of questions, Tony. I know you said that, well, I thought I heard you say in the beginning of the call, one of the persons that have went into exchange previously had gotten 443. Did I hear you say that he did not have to pay a fee, or did he have to pay a fee? I guess I didn't hear that correctly. Did he pay a exchange fee?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. He probably did, because he didn't say he didn't. But what I was trying to say was he didn't pay the difference between. I mean, they didn't take out the
spread,
the buy-sell rate.
The spread. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So my next question on that is, what would cause him not to? What would cause him to be able to get the total amount, the 443?
Because under this program situation, that's what the committee guys told us. That's what they're going to pay, the highest rate.
Under this program. Okay, so the highest rate compared to what? The highest rate compared to is there more than other than the contract rate? Is there a different rate? Another rate other than the international rate? I know.
All right. If you're going to the bank and you want to buy the dinar, and the rate is $4 for you to buy the dinar. $4.
Okay.
That's your buy rate. Okay. Now, if you want to sell them dinar, then the rate is going to be $3.40. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Okay. So that's the buy and sell. You're going to be selling dinar. That's what you're going to. So you should normally get $3.40. Even though we go on Forex and we see $4, when you walk to the bank, you should only get $3.40.
Right.
What he is saying is, during this exchange process, they're going to give you the $4. Well, that's what has happened so far. Now, those are people who went in to do an exchange. People who are walking up to a teller window, that may not happen, because that's doing normal business. So you're going to get that lower rate. I think if you walk up, well, people who are actually going to an exchange, made an appointment going to do that, then you're probably going to get the higher rate. Because so far, that's what they've been giving out during the exchange processes. I can't see that happening at the teller window, because, you know, then they're just giving away money. So I think it's going to be two different processes. Yeah.
So, in your opinion, I don't know if you've asked that question of anybody on the team or committee or whatever. Why is it that they're giving us the rate if we go in? Because pretty much it seems like you would be better off making an appointment when the numbers come out and then set up an appointment so that you could go in and get that rate. But is there a reason they're doing that between making an appointment and the people just walking in? Or, I mean, it's got to be a reason, but we don't know what it is, I guess.
We know because the reason, if you make an appointment, then you're aware of what's been going on and the process and what's going. If you're just walking up to a teller window, you can be any Joe Blow off the street, and that's how you're going to get treated.
Okay. My next question is, I thought I heard you say that one of your bankers was telling you about the Zim, and he said they would be taking it. I think you said he was a regional person or something in the know. Now, his go ahead.
You're doing a lot of thinking this morning, but go ahead.
Well, the reason why I say that or ask that is that his level of power, is it pretty much the same level as your committee person? Or
no, the committee person was in on creating this, and the committee person actually has been in on this for 20 years. What's happening with the GCR, and actually he actually wrote part of the rules, and and he has direct contact with DC and those things. So you would think he would know. Now, he has been telling us this for a while, but the banks and the people who are in the exchange center, people who are part of the banking system, are still saying the opposite. And we've been going back and forth with this for months now. I mean, for months, not for days. And you would think it would have trickled down by now if it was. In fact, that's what it was going to be. Or the Treasury would have put back out, hey, it's not going to happen, or a different thing, but it's not. So that's why we're still going back and forth. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I asked that question, because I was trying to figure out what level was he at with being in the know, and and if that's the case, was there two different sets of?
Well, remember, he's on a committee. No, there's 7 committees, and there were 7 people on each committee, and each one got together and they submit their recommendations on what should happen to the central location every week. They were doing it 3 times a week. Then it was 2 times a week. And now they make periodic calls because they say they've got it all completed. Well, he knows what him and his committee submitted. And he has made a phone call. I mean, where he said, I just called him. They said it's not happening. Well, and I called the bank, and they say, oh, it's happening because that's what we're teaching everybody right now. So it is going to happen. So we'll see.
Okay, and I guess my last question is, I know you were telling us this morning that the people, I think you said the person in Iraq, whoever your contact is, said that they don't know why we're not seeing it or it's not happening. Are there people getting paid over there yet? Have
he got paid over. So he got paid, and he said the lower denoms are trickling out now. Now, I got that from our committee member, and I got it from him. And they both said the same thing. They're starting to come out now. And he said it's done. Before he said 3 to 5 days this morning, he said, I don't understand why you guys aren't seeing it. I just don't know why it hasn't been released over there yet. So,
well, I remember you in D.C. told us back in the day that once Iraq starts, it could possibly be 10 days before the U.S. release it here. Is that still in the play or no?
They wanted the first 72 hours, just for their own country to celebrate and do that. It could take 10 days the way they're doing, tariff taxes, notifying this, changing this rule or this law, setting up this stuff. So I don't know if it's going to take 10 days or not, or the first of the month.
Okay.
I just know over there we got 3 different people over there saying it's happening, and it is going. And now they're all high-level people, and they can say it's happening because they just walked out the room. And they said, "Go ahead and get it started," and it's happening. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get down to the street guy, but they're seeing different things on TV. They're being notified. They were notified that the fields would get ready to come out, everything else, and that was on TV too. So we're just waiting. I don't know the exact procedures of it.
I know you've shared with us that, we're just waiting and what the banks are telling us. How confident are you in the U.S. Treasury letting this thing go for us sooner rather than later, even though we know Iraq is doing everything that they're doing over there and they're ready to go? Do you feel like the U.S. Treasury is going to not keep dragging it out for us and let us go in like we should?
Yes, they are going to let us go in, whatever the holdup is right now at this moment. I don't think Iraq would be doing what they're doing if that wasn't already done and agreed upon this time. They wouldn't be doing the taxes, the tariffs. They wouldn't put out those rules letting you know you could only bring in 5 dinar or take out 10 dinar, which is nothing. None of that would be in print for anybody to see if this wasn't getting ready to go international, because that's the whole purpose of it. So I feel very good about where we are.
Once they go public with it, then the U.S. really has no reason to hold it. I guess that's my question, really, I guess. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, they wouldn't have any reason to hold it. If they put that out to the world and everybody else, then yes, it's going to go. And those are the reasons they haven't putting it out before, is because, it didn't go.
Yeah.
They were going to do it the other way, put it out and then do all these things. Well, now they're doing all these things first and up front, which is letting us know it's getting ready to go.
Okay, well, that's enough questions for today. I'm sure you answered everything that I wanted to know, so I appreciate it. And thank you, guys. I guess the latest that we should be looking at it, I guess from the window right now that they're telling you, we could be seeing something over the weekend. Is that what you said, or no? Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that, but it's a possibility. Anything could happen after, 3:45 this evening. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So was that enough questions for you, or is that enough questions for everybody? I just don't have to answer no more questions. I'm done.
That should have helped everybody, because I need to go get my bus ready. I'm ready. They need to go with this. All right. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Ray.
All right.
To the king.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
626 area code, you're on.
Hello, is that me, Ray?
Yeah, that's you.
Hey, Ray, guys. How you doing, Ray?
I am fantabulous-er to the nth degree. And yourself?
I'm fantastic. How about Tony, man?
I'm super fantastic, my friend.
Okay. You mentioned that $1 bet. Remember what happened when the price went belly up, and the guy goes, "Hey, your brother's having a heart attack." I won't say what the other guy said, but that's the first thing I started thinking about when you said the $1 bet.
What? The Ray was gonna have a heart attack?
Yeah, but you remember what he said in the movie? The guy goes,
"No,
hey,
what?
Your brother's having a heart attack," and he says, "Blank him."
Oh, is that what he said?
That's the first thing I thought about. But anyway, I just want to say that a lot of my questions were answered. I'm looking forward to this. I went to go talk to the bank, and the bank told me the wealth manager said, "Yeah, she knows nothing about this." And I said, "Are you sure?" I go, "Did you go into the right room to go talk to the people? Because I know you got another room where you go talk." And
what she said? Oh,
she said, well, what we do is that we just do the financing, stocks and annuities. Once the money is here, this is what we do. But she says, give me your here's my card, and when this develops, come and see me. And I said, well, I go, okay, well, like I thought you were going to give me a better answer than that. So I go, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe I might go with another bank. I didn't tell her that, but I said, well, let's see what happens. And that's been about 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
when it does happen, go back and tell her that it happened, and say, "But I'm going with the other bank." Go ahead.
Yeah, but remember, Ray saw that movie. That's why he started laughing. that was a good movie. Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's called Trading Places.
All right.
Anyway,
Trading
Places. Have a great weekend, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You
have
too. Thank you, sir.
And, thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
You too. All right. Ray, you there? Uh-oh. Did we lose you?
No. I'm still here.
No, I'm talking about Ray. I lost Ray.
Oh. He's looking for the movie.
Oh, okay.
I had a technical challenge there.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, it's straight. All right, thank you, sir. 708, you are next. 708, area code. 708.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hi. How are you guys?
Fantabulous.
Super fantastic.
To the nth degree.
Wonderful. Well, this is the Queen with the King.
Okay.
I just have a question. I'm still kind of puzzled on this. I know you told me, Tony, but I'm still kind of puzzled on this contract. Needing to have your spouse present. Is this something that is done, the contract, is this done just for the 90-day period? Should I just hold on to my currency until the 90 day and still get the contract? Can I do that?
You won't get, no. The NDA is for 90 days.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what day you get it on, day 1, day 20, day 30. If you get the contract rate, you sign an NDA that's for 90 days.
Okay, so they're interchangeable as far as the term, the NDA contract, same thing.
The contract rate is a higher rate than the normal rate, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if you get that rate, higher rate, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Mm-hmm.
That's for a period of 90 days, saying you won't tell anybody you got that higher rate.
Oh, okay. I got it. The contract is the rate itself. The NDA is non-disclosure.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Now, what part you don't want your husband to be involved in?
And what is it that the king cannot know about what's going on in his kingdom? That's what I want to know. His kingdom, if he can't know something that's going on.
Well, the issue is that the king has his own currency, and the queen has her own. I don't know how much he has. I don't care. But he doesn't know how much I have, and I don't know if he care or not. But it sounds as if we cannot get that contract rate unless we both are present. So he cannot get his. He cannot get the contract rate either without me.
Right.
That is correct. If you are married, your spouse needs to sign. That is correct. Now, if he happened to get a different queen, then I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, wait a minute. This is what I do know. You on here asking the questions, not him. So something's going on.
Well,
okay, that's what I do know.
Well, most kings think they know it all anyway, so he don't spend time listening to the call. So
Okay.
Oh.
Mhm. So that's the issue.
Well, there you go. But most kings end up getting killed by their queen too. But anyway, go ahead.
Stop it. Well, thank you so much for that clarification, Tony.
Okay.
All right. Have a blessed day.
All right. All right.
Okay,
You too. Have a
thank
good
you.
weekend.
Okay.
Have a good weekend. All right.
951 area code. You're on. Nine 973. Hello. Okay, we'll go to the next. 413 area code. You are on.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon. Do I need to take you off the speaker?
Nope, I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't interfering. Thank you. My question, one of my questions was, it's not about listening to another group per se, but when I've checked out different videos recently in the past few months, because it's gotten closer to the time of Fini, I hope, I pray. I was wondering, have you, either of you gentlemen, checked in or listened to any of they're called X-22 reports?
No.
Okay. They've been informative for me just to give me a different perspective on what's going on with the Fed, with the money system, with the possibility of a major change. Honestly, to say, Patriot-wise, I pray that it's a big overhaul. I've tried to express to some friends about the thoughts that, the national debt will be paid off, that won't exist anymore, and different types of things. And I hope different tax structures or negating them will also come with it in the near future. The other, it was speaking to the bus lady. Thank you very much for all your questions. They were extremely helpful. And to the king and the queen couple, I just wanted to say that basically that's my vote too, where I haven't. I'm still legally married. I have been separated for a number of years, but I keep everything inclusive with my family, with my former, and I originally bought some Dinar years ago just in his name to give him comfort that I wasn't doing anything behind his back, that he was, slightly educated on a potential of what could come. And, of course, I've been dealing with the fact of, this is never going to happen, and it's okay. I know I'm in it for all the right reasons and moving forward, but it was just I guess I want to know, do you feel it would be a problem with the bank if for some reason a spouse didn't choose to go with you if you were going to go after the contract rate, or basically they got to go no matter what, and it's not even part of a conversation?
I'm not going to say that because, people have different things going on in their lives just like you do.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, you go in there and say, hey, I'm separated, or, we're just not together right now, or I'm going through some legal thing, or, whatever the situation may be. I'm just saying, this different people. This can be happening with anybody. So you go in there, you explain what happened, they look at it and say, it's only 90 days, okay. And we'll go through it or something like that. I would think they would. I don't know. But,
basically, the question
under different circumstances. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Okay. And the only other thing was you were just explaining briefly at the early part of the call about when you go into the bank and if they give you 2% and such, you were answering questions. I guess my only fear is I don't know if you could actually ask a rate or an offensive question in any way as long as you were delivering it with quality. And I think that's just, that's my only concern. I know that the banks have always had a major power over us as middle-class Americans, and so I want to know that, you say you're going to hold so much in the bank at a certain percentage. Do you feel that, and just for all the reasons you delivered earlier, with what they can make with the money, what they can do, they can go out of the country with Swiss accounts and all this other stuff that we could do it eventually, but we're not going to probably, most of us, be able to do it initially. That's the type of stuff that I kind of am more curious about. I understand.
Well, you go in there and you ask, and I understand. And yes, there is a way to ask. There is a way to have a conversation with someone. So without being disrespectful, without being demanding, but, if you show you have some knowledge of the banking system about what's going to be made off of it and say, I feel this is unreasonable. And I'm going to be leaving my money here for 6 months or 6 years or however long you're going to do it. And we need to adjust this right here because you're going to make this much over the next 20 days. And I know you are. And you're going to do this or do that. So, but there is a way to do that. And anybody that's reasonable. I tell you, I had a guy do an exchange, and they did 2%. And he said no. And then the guy put it in at 1%, and he said no. And he said put it in at 0. And he did, and it went through. And he did his exchange at 0. Now, I don't know as many times as I said that on the call if they've corrected that or not. But, again, nothing beats a failure but a try, right?
Right.
So
well, basically, it's going in, getting the percentage of the contract rate, those that are interested in doing that. And then I guess I'm concerned about being told no to the contract rate and no to a better negotiated percentage. And I've heard no from a lot of these banks for a long time, and I've had phenomenal credit and really good standing and pay all my bills and pay my taxes. So this is the stuff that I'm really concerned about. If there's not a lot of reporting coming into TNT and the groups, even if they're separate and surrounding TNT, that are hearing the positive percentages that you negotiated already, that's really my biggest question.
Let me tell you, everybody on this call, this is what you do. You go into the bank and you're doing your transaction, and if they say no, 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 you stand up and they say, are we going to complete the transaction? And you say no and turn around and walk out. Okay, that's what you do. Now, if they're saying no, then you say no.
Right.
If they're negotiating, saying, yeah, I can do this, then okay, now we're talking about something. If you can go from 5% or 10% interest a year on my money to 12% interest a year, then I don't care if you take that 2% because you just gave it back to me. And we're going to do it over 4 or 5 years. And we're going to negotiate, then yes. If you're going to demand and be strict, then no. I'm going to go to another bank. That's all. What they're being taught is don't let that money go back out that door. Get that money while it's in there and do what you need to do because we're going to make money with that money. And that's okay. But you guys got to understand you have a say-so in this. At every point of it, you can make a decision. I agree or I don't. I like it or I don't. We want to do business or I don't. Because there are other banks that are going to exchange the dinar. It's not just one bank or going to exchange the dirham. And they're going to be competitive. I promise you they are. You said they are.
It was the biggest question was because of calling the 800 numbers, making the appointment, basically following direction. a protocol that's, that you guys have spoken about. So we're not all storming the banks, and I understand. That's really just it. You make the appointment. You want to get in as soon as possible. You tell them that this is what you're interested in when you're on the phone making the appointment, so they know you're serious, maybe right at the get-go. And
well,
also,
that guy making the appointment is not the guy you're going to negotiate with. He won't know any of that.
Right.
All he needs to know is how much you have of each currency, so he can make sure you go to the right person. So trying to do all that over the 800 number is a waste of both of your time.
No, I was just suggesting that, mentioning that you're interested in the contract rate, so you get expedited, I guess.
So, yeah.
That was
you can do that. But, okay.
Yes.
All right.
And could you just answer where you think you mentioned the credit unions in the past? Because I know they're a great resource for communities and everything. Are you suggesting that this is just credit unions are going to be after, or credit unions or people to go with smaller portions right at the get-go?
Either way, the more money you have when you go to any location, then the better deal you're going to get. Okay? So,
there's
if I'm moving my money to, well, guess what? You'll be a big fish in a small pond. But you'll get everything they have when you do that, okay? If you move $10 million, $20 million to a credit union, believe me, you just became our number one fan, okay? Well, they became your number one fan. And everything they have to offer, I'm sure they're going to lay it out in front of you.
Okay.
$10 million to $20 million to a local credit union, you will become important. Matter of fact, they might even give you a seat at the table. Hey, we need a new board director on our board, and you just qualified yourself. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time as always. You guys have a fantastic
All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
972. You're on.
Hey, fellas. Down here toward Dallas.
Good morning.
Got a few questions to ask you. Good morning to you, Tony. The lady that just got off the call prompted a few thoughts. Ray, you have encouraged me not to inform people that I've got contacts with, but to have them on the call. There are 3 additional callers on the call today.
All right.
Yeah. And I would like your help with this. The lady just mentioned, what to do when you go there. I'd like to back up and just touch like 3 or 4 different things. I don't want to take a whole lot of time, but don't usually. But when we get the 800 number, that will be, as you mentioned, Tony, it will be either a server situation. You're hoping you don't have to use yours if this is an enormous flood. So we'll get access to the 800 number in some form. That may be on a website. It may be a national site. We may have to know our federal area number, that sort of thing. But once that is determined, we should be able to get the correct 800 number for our district, and then we initiate that call. You've mentioned in the past that the call is manned by people at the banks, or was it the Treasury? I'm thinking you said the banks.
No, I said the 800 numbers will be issued out by the Treasury, but it'll probably be manned by bank personnel at the exchange centers.
Okay, and the 800 number person on the other end will want to know our identification. They'll want to know our location so they can direct us to banks based on the volume of currency we have. And you just mentioned to the lady before that it might be appropriate to say I have 25 million dinar, or I have 250,000 dinar, because even she doesn't have contract price or knowledge of that, but that'll get us to a bank where they can deal with what direction we go. I'm assuming that's correct.
That is correct. They want to know the volume of each currency you have. They'll know the rate so they can send you to somebody who's qualified on your level. Yeah.
Okay. Assuming that the Zim is part of this, even though the information you gave today is kind of questionable if we've got to have 2016 bills, and that may be a problem. There's been a report in the past, and I don't recall from what source, something I read or something somebody told me, that you were to suggest, it was suggested that if you had Zim, you reported that first because that was a more confined response from the person on the call. Is that still appropriate, or does it matter at all to mention the Zim first?
Okay, so when you hear things like that, I gotta wonder. I mean, who puts out nonsense like that? I mean, why?
That's what I wanted to know.
Before you get in the call, they need to know all the currencies that you have. So,
right.
What difference does the order make? They're not going to decide where you go until they know all you have and how much of each you have. So, I don't know why somebody would put significance on what order.
Well, this was what was communicated, that there would be more restricted. The entities to deal with the Zim would be more restricted, so that would be appropriate. You'll restrict it immediately. They will also do the other currencies. But I'm content to pass that question by. I don't think I've got a significant amount of Zim anyway. Once that is accomplished, that you are directed, they will offer you a couple of choices, or do you simply say, I'm with Bank of America, I prefer that, and let them find that direction? Do you want an afternoon or evening appointment? Is that the sort of thing we should expect? Either they will offer us one, we will choose whether or not we have an account with them or not.
You should expect them to offer you a different bank, not all one bank, first of all, because all the banks are involved in it. And you should expect them to offer you a Monday at 9 o'clock or a Friday at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
You know, or some type of option to get in, because they can't demand you be here at 12 o'clock at this time, because
sure,
who knows what you're going through. So, all right.
Right. Do you think we'd have a liberty to say, I'm about to go out of town, could we do it day after tomorrow? I mean, it would make the request, it seems reasonable.
And you can always
or I'm out of
make
town.
a request. I mean,
okay.
What are they going to do? Come through the phone and bite your head off?
No, I would back away if that were the case.
So,
okay, good.
Yeah, ask questions, guys. You can, they're trying to go through the phone call real quick and get to the next one. So they have a script they're going to go through, but you can still ask questions.
Good. That gives me a degree of comfort. Once we're assigned, I assume we take our ID, our picture ID, adequate information, any receipts, although we may not need them, obviously in your currency, and then show up a few minutes early, and you're in the system, and away you go. I'm curious about this part. We meet with a wealth manager or a bank manager of some sort, and do you suppose they'll simply look at you and say, you're here for an exchange, how can I help you? It seems like if they say anything else, they would already open up the possibility of, well, of course I'm here for an exchange. Is there something I should know? We know about the contract price. My thought is, if they come up with a generic, how can I help you? I understand that there may be a contract price, a negotiated price higher than the market price. Can you tell that information to me? Ask them a question. Does that seem reasonable to you? How would you do it?
Yeah, first of all, you're going to be scheduled with a wealth manager, private banker. You're on their appointment book. They know when you walk in the room what you're there for. They know how much you have already because you already gave it through the 800 number. They're there to do your exchange. So there's no guesswork in any of that, okay?
Okay.
You're going to say, what's today's rates? They're going to say, these are the rates for today. And you're going to say, what about the contract rate? Now, there's a contract rate out there of $28.50 that I'm aware of, and everybody else, and how do I get that contract rate?
Okay. Good. The way you laid it out is very reasonable, and they didn't expose that. It's our job to expose it. Since 90, 95% of everybody that exchanges is going to be ignorant of the contract price, they will be ready to respond, but they probably won't introduce it to us, right?
No, why would they?
Yeah, okay, I'm with you. And if it really is 90 to 95% are ignorant of it, that contract price, it seems, should last a lot longer than some of us fear. Because from way back, I thought as soon as I get the call, I'm calling and making the appointment, and I'm getting in the car. I don't want to wait a day. I don't want to wait 2 days. I'm not even calling my contacts until I have my appointment, and then I'm at least in the schedule. So that's very helpful. Also, at that point, you're suggesting that is just the exchange posture. The investment would be at a second meeting with that person or another wealth manager. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking that depending on how much you have, whether you can get direct to your wealth manager, and I need to negotiate this all at one time. Because there will be wealth managers doing the exchange, but they're probably going to work with people at $50 million and above, or maybe even $25 million and above. And they're going to lay out their whole strategy doing the exchange.
I see.
But for the average person, they're going to be at the teller, or they're going to be at a private banker, and he's not going to be able to do all that, the number of people that are coming through for the exchange.
Right. Okay, that's encouraging. It may not be a second meeting if we have a good-sized quantity or volume of currency. That's good.
Right.
Now, will they also, you anticipate they will also know about the IMF 700 different programs for investment? Would that be another meeting?
Now, that will probably be another meeting. You got money,
Okay.
I want to invest in things, but you're going to say, well, let's get this part done first. Let's get your card out, your account set up, and then we'll start talking long-term strategies. See, in the initial meeting, guys, I want to negotiate my rate. I want to negotiate fees. I want to negotiate going right in there the interest rate that I'm going to get on my money sitting in the bank right then, and see how high it will go. Now, it can go, what they were doing a month ago is up to 10%, which is unusual for banks, giving you 10% a year on your money. Then that's what I'd be trying to get right out the gate. Now, I'm getting 10%, my money's there, then we can renegotiate for the rest.
Okay. Now, I believe it was Wednesday that you suggested to a similar call, you go in and you tell them, I want 3 separate accounts, one for taxes, one for spending, and one for investment. And that would be an appropriate time to bring that up too, I suppose.
Yeah, you're right there. If they're setting up your accounts, set up 3 of them. And let's do it. This is how I want the money to be done, right in there. It's just paperwork.
Right. Okay. And then backing up just a little bit, there's still the liberty, as I understand, for us to take a 25K note or a 20,000 a dong note and take it to a cashier and get some go money, even before your appointment.
You can do that.
Possible?
You can do that, but don't tell Ray.
Okay. It'll just be between me and you and 20,000 others.
Yeah, because, Ray don't like you guys doing that.
Right. I understand his perspective, and I respect that.
It's okay. We just want to be in a different club. That's cool.
That's different.
There's the best of us, and there's the rest of us.
We call this Broke for Life, Ready to Change Club. But, hey, I understand your perspective. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I call it the rest of us club.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get there as quick as I can, believe me. Well, listen, fellas, that's all informative. I feel like I've been waking up counting the days. What day is this? And with the understanding that it could get jammed up again, but they can't keep jamming it. And at some point, all of this questionable positive activity has got to come to an end. And I'm looking for that with a passion. So, thank you so much for what you do. Look forward to seeing you guys, whether it's with the guy in Pennsylvania. You got to go to South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, someplace, or in Vegas. But let's do this pretty quick, okay?
All right, thank you, sir. All right, bye.
All right, take care. 732 area code, you're on.
Yeah, good day, gentlemen. My only question is, if I was to wait to be the third mouse, I wonder, could it be possible while I wait, they stop the exchange process once it starts?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, that relieves me. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
941 area code, you're on.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All righty. Thank you for taking my call. You said earlier that somebody in Iraq says they don't know why it hasn't happened here. Who is that, and why would they say that?
He is somebody that I've been in contact with for 8 years now, who has given us information a long time before it even happens, sometimes 2 days before, sometimes a week before. He's been involved in the process, has people involved in the process. So somebody who I trust. That's who he is.
And does that mean when he said he doesn't know why it hasn't happened here, because it's already happened there?
It has happened there at his level. He has been paid. He has the rates. He says that the lower denoms are starting to trickle out. People are starting to see him. They're not all the way down the street yet. And he has been within 6 degrees of this process for the last 10 years on this call.
Okay. And so that would mean then that, would it not, that some organization over here has not said, let's go with this?
Well, no, because they haven't fully gone over there yet, because it's not down to the street. And the CBI site hasn't even changed the rate yet when they've done that. So we're not going to see it until that happens.
All right. Okay. And finally, you may have answered it already in this call, and I might have missed it. But if I want to go in for the contract rate, and I'm not a mega million Dinar holder, a smaller holder, would I have to go to a second meeting in order to ask for the contract rate?
Well, you'd have to call the 800 number, make an appointment, and tell them you want the contract rate. Anybody just walk to the bank or walk into a teller will not get a contract rate.
Okay. So when I say I want to go to the contract rate, when I call the 800 number, they'll put me somewhere where there is somebody on my first meeting to be authorized to do that for me if they want to.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's my question. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
205 area code, you're on. Wait a minute. Let me try it again. Okay. 205.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Hey, doing pretty good.
I'm super fantastic.
You sounded like you feel you're having a good day. I believe today's the day. Anyway, I got two quick questions for you guys. When you were talking about the gentleman that has already been paid, you talked about that he got the rate on the screen. Do we know if there was any discussion about if he has been told he would have to pay taxes, if this was, or is that still up in the air?
I didn't talk to him about that. He didn't mention anybody saying anything about taxes. He definitely didn't take any taxes out.
Okay. And the other question, you said the Zim rate was $28. Now, I know on a call about a week or so ago, you said that we would be getting, if it went, like $2 million per 100 trillion Zim note. Would that change according to the $28 rate? Would that be $28 million per note, or is my calculations incorrect?
Okay, it's 28 cents, not $28.
Okay.
Now, at 28 cents, with 6 zeros dropped off, it would be 28 million per 100 trillion note.
Okay, that's what that was my calculations. That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure my figures were correct.
I don't know how you got 28 million out of $28, but okay.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said I don't know how you got to 28 million using $28 when 28 million is 28 cents.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You got the right answer though. You got the right answer.
Okay. So 28 million per 100 trillion Zimnet. Okay. And I guess that's it. We're just waiting. Have we heard from the CIA lady today?
We have not. And
so
I'm surprised. She might still be on the list. 'Cause, we shared a dream. I'm waiting for her to come on so we can talk about it.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that Wednesday, and I was anticipating, getting to hear snippets of that. But she could have already got paid, huh?
Hey,
yeah,
never know. That's right.
CIA, that they would be in that upper echelon of people, that are, above something. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'm just having fun with you guys. Y'all have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, thank you.
You too. Thank you, sir.
951 again. Another 951.
Good morning. Is that me?
That's you.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Good morning.
That's me.
Yeah, I've been trying to get on the call for a long time now.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yeah, hey. Anyway, I have a couple of questions for you. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Anyway, I have some thong that I've been wanting to gift to some people, and anyway, I told them about it and everything, and I told them they needed to keep it like in a safe, secure place or something, and they said they really didn't have any place to keep it like that, or like away from. Anyway, they didn't feel comfortable doing it. They asked me if I could hang on to it. Is that still the same as gifting it to them, as long as we talked about it? And I have it in envelopes here with their names on it and stuff, but is that the same as giving it to, if I still have it, but I'm gifting it to them, is that the same as me still giving it to them even after the RV? Or do they
if you have it designated, for them in the envelope, I would say yes. I mean, I'm not an attorney or anything, but do a gift letter right now. Have it dated and signed and put it in the envelope with the currency.
Yeah, I did that also. I have the date on there, and I said, yeah, I am gifting this to so-and-so, and I typed my name out, and I signed the letter and everything, so.
Okay. I think you're okay.
All right.
I'm not the judge and jury, but I think you're okay.
Okay. And then the other one is, will an LLC, if I put the money in an LLC, is that as good as putting it into a trust, or can people still sue the LLC, or what?
I'm giving Ray time to answer. But yeah, they can sue. Everybody can be sued, but go ahead.
Right. The main difference is the things that the trust can do that an LLC cannot.
Okay.
That's going to make the difference. But what you want, both can do that. But one tool far exceeds the other one in other things that it can do. So then it's just a question of, do you want to go halfway through life or all the way? So why get a tool that only does one thing when you can have a tool that will do 15 that includes that one? Then you may choose to get the tool that does 15.
Okay.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like.
So it's a personal decision.
Yeah. Okay. It's like if there's a $50 bill and a $100 bill on the table, you know, which one do you pick up? You know, if you only pick up the $50 bill, you're not getting the advantage of the $100 bill. So why not pick both of them up? So I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
we'll go with that one. All right. Is that it, sir?
Maybe not a good example, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, one will do the same thing, but you can do more with it. So, yeah.
All right.
Correct?
That'll work.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
thank you, sir.
Much. Let's hope our time is soon.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Tony, let's wrap this one up.
No CIA today?
Not even on the list.
All right. I'm going to have to call her up. Look. No. All right. Okay, guys. Good call. A lot of good information. The banks are still waiting. Over there, like I said, things have started over there. It's trickling down. He said lower denoms are trickling out. Don't know why we haven't seen it yet, but they are anticipating it. So let's go into the weekend hoping it's the last weekend. That's what I'm looking forward to. So enjoy the rest of the day. I'm enjoying mine. If something happens, we'll tweet it out, blast it out, or figure it out, one way or the other. All right, Ray.
Okay. You said it all. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Keep believing. We sure do.